the Lady Cardinals traveled up to Clarkson, and they had a great game plan installed as they rolled past Clarkson 4-0 to finish up a 2-game homestand that gives the team confidence as they start conference play. Helen Gorux started the scoring in the 33rd minute with a breakaway goal. She then tallied her second goal of the game on a penalty kick in the 76th minute. Freshman Ashley McKinley scored her first goal of her collegiate career by driving a shot just past the fingertips of Clarkson goalie. Clarkson helped out Plattsburgh a little bit by giving them an own goal early in the second half. Elena Greaser recorded her first shutout of the season, while Plattsburgh's defense stymied Clarkson, only allowing one shot on goal the whole game. Plattsburgh outshot Clarkson 13-1. They also had 5 corner kicks, and the Cards will open up their conference play against Potsdam. And Jeff, you had that story.
I did have that story. And you see there.
And we see on the graphic right there.
13-1 in shots.
4-1.
That's
4-0. Gorix had the 2 goals. McKinley with her first goal of her collegiate career, and they outshot them 13-1. And Plattsburgh moved to 5-0, and they had a national ranking going really here. And
they moved up in the ranks after
they did pretty good.
As they went on to Potsdam.
And they went on to Potsdam, and right now
I do have that story.
You do have that story.
I can let you know how that turned out. The Lady Cards were ranked 16th nationally when they went onto the road for their first conference game to take on the Potsdam Bears. The Bears really weren't a match for the Cardinals as they took care of business, shutting them out 5-0. Plattsburgh also outshot Potsdam 20-5. Helen Gurux got the scoring started for Plattsburgh in the 7th minute and then ended the scoring in the 68th minute. Kaiten Kalika, Emily Riley, and Liz Radigan also added goals for the Cardinals. Freshman goalie Reese Slaya, get this, has yet to allow a goal in her Plattsburgh State career after she recorded her 3rd shutout and 3rd victory on the year. She stopped the 2 shots that came her way during that game. So dominance still early for the Plattsburgh State team. See that? They moved to 6-0. Blank and Potsdam 5-0.
And a big conference win right there as we take a look at the stats.
20-5 on shots.
Yep, 20-5 on shots. And in soccer, that's what you got to do. You got to put shots on the net.
That's stymie defense, good offense. That's a good recipe for success there.
And we had the game that the women's soccer team, they went up to Williams to take on the number 3rd ranked team as they traveled to Williams. And they played the number 3 team in the country this year. And that game was a good preview. But Plattsburgh,
tough they could be.
Yeah, it would be a tough game. And the women's soccer team took their perfect 6-0 record down to Williamstown, Massachusetts. The Cardinals would face the 3rd ranked, as I said earlier, team in the country, the Williams Eps. Plattsburgh was outplayed and lost the game 3-0. Sarah Wild scored the game's first goal in the 11th minute to give Williams an early 1-0 lead. And that's all goalies Julia Schreiber and Lauren Seinberg needed as they combined for 3 saves to record the shutout. Annalise Snyder added 2 goals of her own in the second half to help preserve the win. The Cardinals did, however, get 12 shots off, but the Eps defense, which I might add is one of the best in the nation, only allowing 1 goal for the entire season. The Cardinals will return home this Friday to take on Brockport in a SUNYAC game this year. And as we look at the graphic right there, Williams really just pretty much outplayed Plattsburgh. Having the number 3 ranking really showed what they were about. Plattsburgh really was no match for them. They had a tough going. The defense wasn't really prepared. And Williams and Sarah Wild got it going early for Williams, and they really just dominated the rest of the game, had possession most of the ball out of the time. And Jeff, we had the Cardinal Classic volleyball tournament this past weekend.
Tournament up here.
And Plattsburgh would take on Hamilton to start off their tournament run. And pretty much this game was pretty good for Plattsburgh as they started off in the tournament. And pretty much we have the highlights for this game coming in. And Plattsburgh would take on Hamilton. And here we go on the highlights as Kristen Shaim was dominant for Plattsburgh. As we see right here, she has the big block right there pretty much going down. And then on the back shot, Hamilton serving the Plattsburgh. They get it under control. A nice little dig right there, but it was into the net, and again, Plattsburgh got the point. as we look forward later in the game. Hamilton would be serving here, and Plattsburgh with a nice little dig right there. Got it out, kept the control, and a nice little tap shot from Shaim again, and she was on fire in this game. 9 kills on the whole game. And right there, Hamilton running off balance, Plattsburgh pretty much controlling the tempo of the game, and again, a nice little spike with an off-balance shot right there, getting it back into their side of the court. Plattsburgh pretty much played dominant throughout this game, and a block, and you see right there, Boderick with the nice block, and they set up Shaim again with the nice placement in the back corner, and she was very good, and they pretty much, Plattsburgh went on to win the game and took the series. After losing the first one, they took the series 3-1. And that moved them on to the second round, where they would have a matchup with Buffalo State. It was tough, and they lost that game.
You did.
And they would move on in the tournament because it wasn't a single elimination tournament. No, they would take on a team from my part of the neck of the woods, St. Joseph's from Long Island. And Plattsburgh in that game would really try to come up with stops.
Had some trouble there.
A lot of miscues in that game for the Lady Cardinals.
There, but that only put them to 1-2 in the tournament. So not all bad, but they did get to the third place game on Saturday there, and taking on Buffalo State again, which
which beat them the last time.
They beat them last time, but did they get revenge? But in the end, like I said, 3-0. Buffalo State won. Plattsburgh, the defense there by Buffalo State at the net was formidable. And then right here, Buffalo State just finding the seam in between 2 Plattsburgh defenders. And, Plattsburgh, they did do their hardest. Probably not the way they wanted to show in the hometown tournament.
And
but
Cardinal Classic, they did okay. They went 1-3 on the But a note to have for Plattsburgh, Susan Bakinen was named to the all-tournament team, so congratulations to her. And she did good.
I would say so.
This week, Plattsburgh took on Skidmore.
It's a night game
at home. It was a night game at home, so the crowd was into it at the Memorial Field.
Beautiful field they got there.
We have the highlights for you right now, but the theme of this game was not how you started, how you finished. And again, a nice little cross right here from Plattsburgh into the box, but again, Skidmore was able to outlast the attack right here by Plattsburgh and get the ball back and get a corner kick. But on this corner kick, Plattsburgh had a really good attempt as he launched it into the middle of the box. And right here, the header, ooh, it just went over the net and over the crossbar, and Skidmore avoided it. But finally, again, John Legardo would try a free kick from out there, but the goalie for Skidmore, Nick Peterson, swept that and took that ball away. And then again, Skidmore would be down on the Plattsburgh end, but the defense for Plattsburgh started off weakly, but stayed strong. And then finally, Plattsburgh got a goal. Chris Taylor with the goal right there in the first minute. And then later on, there was 2-1 going in the halftime, and Chris Taylor again scored to put the equalizer, and then the go-ahead goal for Plattsburgh won them this game 3-2 in the second half. So a really good performance by Plattsburgh to come back and win this game, being down 2-0. It's a great win for this team, and I think for the program, and it lifts their record
up. Especially being 2-0, down 2-0, and then they come back 3 straight goals. In soccer, 3 straight goals is it's tough.
3 unanswered is tough.
Yeah. So, great week of sports here, great way to start off, some first show jitters, but we'll get through that.
Yeah, and both the men's and women's soccer team are off to great starts. The girls got their first loss last night, but pretty much the men's team is doing very well. And this week, the girls' soccer team is at home against Brockport to take on them. So that should be an exciting matchup in the SUNYAC Conference. They played 1 game already. They have a record of 1-0, so it's going to be their second game, and they are going to do pretty good. And I think they're going to win this game. That's a Brian Fody guarantee. I'm saying the girls' soccer team right there comes out and beats Brockport tomorrow.
And I'll wrap you up. But it was good first show, and we'll see you next week.
And wrap it up. Good night, everybody.